Welcome to Fantasy Hotline,
where we talk about your wildest fantasies.
Elves, dragons, gnomes, weird systems of money.
And some wizards sometimes.
Yeah.
We're your hosts. I'm Chris.
And I'm Claire.
And today we're not talking about a book.
No, we're talking about one of the topics we actually just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. A nice trope that we see a lot. Not really a trope, more of a people.
An archetype, if you will.
An archetype. Yeah, the moral good. It seems like the moral compass
Or the little, sometimes they're a little naughty.
Yeah, sometimes they're evil buddies.
Yeah, we're talking about elves.
Elves.
We're talking about elves.
Yeah, you see them in a lot of books and some pornography.
Yeah.
Someone once told me, they were like, "Yeah, I watched elf porn."
Was it good?
They were like, "It worked for me, bud," and I was like, "Good. I think we're better friends than I thought we were."
Okay, but was elf porn like just? Like, did they?
Honestly, I've watched it once.
Okay, the fucking truth comes out. He's like, a friend told me.
No, my friend was like, elf porn rules, and I was like, well, I'll watch elf porn, and then
okay, I gotta watch it now.
And then I had him link me.
It's such an indirect, like a direct, like experience. You're like, I'm gonna come to the same elves you did.
Yeah, I know. We're pretty good. We're
so good.
We're real close friends now.
I think men need more friendships like that.
We're both coming to elves and talking about it.
Here's the thing: if you're not coming to an elf, brother, you're sick in the head.
I mean,
a human, disgusting.
I don't care which way you swing or what you got between your legs. When you saw Arwen the first time in Lord of the Rings, and it didn't make you wet, hard, or whatever it is.
Wet, hard, or dusty,
or loosey goosey.
It didn't make all the pennies fall out of your little wallet.
I'm just imagining someone trying to close a wallet and panties just keep
They're
flying.
Like, oh, fuck Arwen,
flying out of his wallet.
I mean, I talked about this in the first episode, but when I moved back home after college, I found like a bunch of lesbian elf fan fiction
that you wrote.
Yeah, and I had no memory of it.
Whoa!
I was like, blacked it out and was like, oh, I'm straight.
I am not attracted to Arwen or Galadriel.
Yeah, exactly.
It turns out. Yeah, I mean those two. Yeah.
Wait, so what happened in the elf porn?
It was honestly just like two people who were very clearly just porn stars and didn't give a shit, but they just had pointy ears and they were in a forest.
Okay, that was like my guess.
Some high production stuff. Like he was like came in and was like, they're invading our borders, and she was like, I don't care, come invade my border. And then
I was wondering what like the pizza delivery equivalent would be.
Yeah, it was like they were like the actors didn't quite know what they were talking about, but if they
didn't know their source material.
I just fast forwarded through the story and made up my own. I see. And then I was like,
you're like, this takes place during Beren and Luthien and the Silmarillion. Yeah. But these are the adjacent characters.
Yes, they're unifying their two clans at the moment.
I mean, at least it's like they had the setting. They had like the forest.
Yeah, it was
That's so funny.
Yeah.
One time my friend and I were super wasted and tried to find the Avatar fuck scene.
Oh,
the extended cut.
Yeah.
And we just woke up in the morning. There were like 18 tabs. We were like having a sleepover. It was like Avatar fuck scene because we like found it. We're like, no, that's it. It was like
how old?
Oh, we were like first year out of college.
Oh, okay.
We had like, she was living in a studio in, oh my God, like the Gold Coast for some weird reason. And we went out to benchmark on Division. And then we like met these two guys and made out with them next to each other outside her apartment. And then we were like, time to go find the Avatar.
And then went home and showed your true colors.
Yeah.
You're like, we were just so cool for a whole evening.
And now?
And now we're going to go look at avatars. Fuck.
But we couldn't, we found like, I'm like crying right now. It's so funny. The scene is like only 30 seconds more, and it's like I can't believe they even cut it. It's just them going like,
really?
They cut a moan. Yeah, you don't
just
see anything.
Moaning.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, that's innocent.
That's why we had so many tabs. We were like, there's got to be more.
I want. You guys watched it and you're like, okay, I seem to remember a little more than just a single moan.
Yeah.
From what's her name? Who plays the head hot avatar?
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah,
she
she's
rules.
really hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so
she rules to look at.
That's like, I think that it could be a turn of phrase to say someone, oh, I'm looking at her and it rules.
Dude, it rules looking at you right now, to be honest.
That's so funny.
Instead of saying like you're really hot, be like, it rules to look at you.
Yeah, I think that, you know what, I'm going to say it, that rules.
Yeah, hey, that rules.
I've also been...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've been, when people do something that's lame, I've been saying you're exhibiting loser behavior.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or just like, such loser behavior. It does not rule, you know.
This does not rule. I like that one too.
Yeah,
hey, bud, this does not rule what you're doing here. And I'm only about stuff that rules.
Or rocks.
Yeah, or rocks occasionally.
Okay, yeah.
If I haven't gotten much sleep, I'm willing to go for something that rocks.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, we really got on a tangent. Okay, so elves. So I looked up, I said, when was the first elf, as we know them now, in a book? And there's a novel that came out in 1924 called The King of the Elfland's Daughter by Lord Dunsany, or Dunsany.
Lord Dunsany.
And Lord Dunsany bottled water.
Lord went on to abandon his elf.
Yeah. Become a water guy.
And buy water.
And then in 1937, The Hobbit came out, and that brings us to Tolkien.
Oh.
So before that, pretty much elves were just kind of in mythology, and there were kind of two kinds. So elves as fantasy characters, as we know them now, were essentially developed by Tolkien, and then from him, essentially other authors. Comes from Norse mythology. So they were kind of seen as an equivalent in mythology to like the Scottish Seelie court or like fairies and stuff in England.
The Fae.
And the Fae, kind of like higher beings and stuff like that would fuck with you, but they're really hot and cool and smart. And so those were kind of like the fairies in English and Irish, like pre-Christian mythology.
Yeah.
And then elves in those countries in like England and stuff like that were kind of like little naughty guys, like the brownies, or like they'd take your kids, or maybe they'd like put a tack in your shoe or something.
Right.
They're like the kind of dobbies, like the little guys.
Who made them small?
I think the small comes from like the folklore tales.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like it's like the fairies and elves and trolls and gnomes. Sometimes they're tiny.
Yeah.
And then other times they're like, you know, big.
So this is
my handsome.
They're so huge.
Yeah.
So
Legolas is huge.
Yeah, huge for me personally. So my question for you is kind of what elf camp are you in? How do you prefer your elves when you're reading or like watching fantasy?
Well, like for sure, very, very like I prefer the Lord of the Rings aesthetic if we're gonna and mythos. Like I don't like the tiny elves, like the little what are the guys who are making cookies in the tree?
Keebler elves.
Yeah, keep them.
I agree.
I don't need them.
I want my elves hot, taller, smarter, and stronger than me.
And living for a long time and haunted by it.
Yeah, either they can die from grief or they chop off their head. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Some of my favorite. What are some of your favorite elves that are like outside of Tolkien, like in books?
That's a good question. Well, this is opposite of what I just said, but I think. Oh my God, Artemis Fowl. His conception of elves is just like really funny, but that's a little different. I think when it comes to like high fantasy, I'm like totally blanking right now.
I got
Go
one.
Pop off.
All right. Well, Michael J. Sullivan writes these really good books, and they're like the Heir of Novron trilogy. Really cool. We'll read them for sure. And like spoilers a little bit here, team. The elves like used to be in charge of everything, and they were like super cruel overlords, and then some unwritten bit of history got flipped, and now they're like basically like street urchins that live forever.
Oh, I think
it's super cool.
I might have like read the back of this book at the library or something once.
It's very cool. And like it's basically like shameful to be half elf, and there's like tons of they call them mirrors or something like that.
That's a really common trope in fantasy.
It's like ashamed to be a
half elf. Yeah. Andre Norton and Mercedes Lackey, our old friend, they had a book about like the half elf something, and it's like elves invaded Earth somehow, and now humans are slaves. And like it starts with this woman who's in one of the elf king's harem, and she gets pregnant.
Yeah.
And then runs out into the desert because they'll like kill her if they find out she's pregnant, and she dies not after giving birth, but then the dragons raise her half elf daughter, and they all take down the elves.
Mercedes,
it's cool.
Mercedes Lackey is a G.
Yeah, dude, she's really going there. So yeah, I agree. I really like elves in oh my god, I just completely the Sword of Shannara series, Terry Brooks.
I've never read them.
Oh my god, there's so many of them. I like went on a binge when I was went on a backpacking trip in Southeast Asia, and they were like at this hostel.
Yeah, that rules.
And so I just and then for randomly I could find them at like every hostel I went to for like a month.
You probably just followed someone unknown.
I know. I was like, who are you?
Yeah. I hope I catch up with this person.
Yeah. I also hope I think it's Terry Brooks. It's not Terry Pratchett, but there's a million of them, and it's like the Sword of Shannara and like the Stone of Shannara and blah blah blah. And the elves are kind of like Tolkien-esque, but like their city can be put into the elf stone. So when there's great moments of danger, like some of the books are like the elf princess has to put all of her friends and family into the elf stone, and then like carry them with her on some quest type thing. But he also has some that he wrote that are like there becomes like this nuclear mass extinction event that humans cause, and like that. Whoa. And so he kind of has like sci-fi origins for the fantasy type creatures. I think it's all in the same timeline too, so it gets a little overbearing when you're reading too many. But.
Yeah, they go far into the future. It feels like, or is it like
it's like Back into the Past is like our current day sort of,
right? Oh,
and then his books are like he's like I think it's the East. It's like the books are happening like also like I could be wrong about this,
right? It reminds me a lot of there's another series that Joe Abercrombie wrote called the Half a World series, and that's like a post-apocalyptic, like everything. There's all these skyscrapers and everything's been destroyed, and all the humans refer to everything that was like destroyed as like elf mat, like there's like it's like random like sword fighting, and then somebody has a gun and they're like, he has an elf weapon.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah. Well, the other thing, when I was doing some research for this episode, the 15 minutes before I got here,
that's how you do it.
The elf shot was a term that was used in like Old England, where it'd be like, oh, my cows are sick because like I found an elf shot, like someone like it was used to accuse women of being witches and stuff like that, and it was just something that could cripple you and make you sick or something like that. And then some archaeologists were like, oh, they found like Neolithic like stone chip spear points and stuff like that, and we're like, these are from elves. Whoa. Because they weren't like, oh, these are from like our ancestors 800 bajillion years ago, or whatever like, the hell.
We gotta make headlines here.
Yeah.
They were tiny.
It was clickbait. I just choked on that word.
It was sorry. Well, yeah, man, I like Legolas was like I can't tell you, that like swept across my middle school. Like when that came out, every girl's locker had open it up, there's Orlando Bloom.
Oh my god, he's so hot.
It like made me mad a little bit. I like
you were jealous?
Well, probably yeah, it probably came from jealousy. But what I said out loud was like, oh, these girls are just fans of Lord of the Rings because Orlando Bloom's hot. And
oh my god,
because like the story and like the lore, and Aragorn's so much hotter probably. Like,
oh my god, you were one of those. You were a hater.
Yeah, I was like, these fucking girls don't even like this.
Oh my god, you're doing like a Cartman voice right now.
Yeah, that's what I sounded like. What do you think? That's based in Colorado.
Oh yeah. I didn't know it was like kind of like a regional way of speaking. That's how we talk for children.
I'm hiding my accent right now.
Wow, I've learned so much.
But if
I
drop it, normally I'm like, hey, what's up, you guys?
Oh my god.
You guys want to talk about
Yeah. Okay. So Chris was
very
a full
annoying
elf-based misogynist in elementary, middle school.
Yeah. Well, I'm not afraid to admit past mistakes. Is that misogyny?
No, I'm just kind of...
Or is it more just me being like mad at women?
It's kind of interesting how we're using the same words to say the same thing right now.
Okay, yeah, I was a young misogynist. I'll admit it now. I was part of the young misogynists club.
Women can't like elves as much as me.
God dare these women.
You're an elf cell.
Yeah, elf cell.
I was in elf cell too. I was like, I'm involuntarily not having sex with elves. I want to be having sex with elves, and they won't let me.
Well, let me tell you, you can pretend. I'll link you up.
Oh my
this.
God! Yes, fucking drop the link. Yeah, I had a glossy printout of Legolas on my bedroom wall. My mom got herself a huge poster of Aragorn, which I've already mentioned on the podcast.
Yeah, your mom had good taste.
Yeah. Well, I think every bisexual woman has like had a crush on Legolas because he's like so femme, and he's always got like you can always see really far.
So I was
and
homophobic.
That's cool.
And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you didn't know about the homophobic
Turns out
part.
a little homophobia in me as well.
Oh, just a tinge. Just a tinge.
Yeah, I get that though. He is very like gentle and not your average like action hero, but he's such a badass.
And he like is just, aloof and kind of British.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then like it says stuff like a red sun rises.
Yeah.
Blood has been spilled this night.
Legolas, what do your elf eyes see?
Oh fuck! Tell me what this is.
God. Yeah, that's actually in the porn that you watched.
You zoom in. It's just me flashing him.
Yeah.
It's like, I see a misogynist boy.
He hates that you know about me.
He was. Oh man.
Were you like actively trying to gatekeep Lord of the Rings in your middle school?
I mean, I've probably.
Or did you just like keep it inside?
It was more inside, and it was like something I told my closest friends who all agreed.
Well, that's how the echo chambers begin, ladies.
This is how it happens.
This is how men are getting radicalized, and they weren't even online yet.
We weren't. We were actually maybe we were on albinoblacksheep.com.
Oh yeah,
Homestar.
Yeah, Homestar Runner. What about the one that was like badger mushroom?
Oh my God,
that was like.
I want to go back to that website.
Oh, it's there. I'm sure
it better be.
You can find it. Okay, so other things about elves is like we love the Legolas type elves. And why do you think that is? Do you think it's because it's like the first fantasy we both read? It was just like elves are so cool and it stuck with us.
Yeah, I mean he was written pretty badass in that. Like he was
can do anything.
He snowboarded on a shield down some stairs and killed probably like 12 people on the way down.
And then there was also like they have the coolest names, Glorfindel, who was in the books, but they gave his part to Arwen in the movie, so she wasn't just like, I'm hot and I really miss you, Aragorn.
I want to be mortal, actually.
Yeah, Dad, I actually really like this guy, and he's immortal.
That's what she sounded like.
And the voice just keeps going higher.
She was fucking badass, and she had like a katana for some reason.
Yeah, they made her cooler. They made her cooler in the movie for sure. Tolkien had a gal problem, as we know.
Yeah. Back then, they didn't have many.
The only reason he wrote Eowyn is because his daughter was like, Dad, where are the girls?
Daddy, I'm not a man.
I want to see myself reflected in the media I consume, Father. Don't you know about representation?
Father, there's this new thing. It's called representation.
Only like accents, English accents we can do are like chimney sweep or urchin.
Father.
Yeah.
Just finished sweeping the chimney.
Okay, so that's like a Dobby voice.
Yeah. No.
I was so annoyed that J.K. Rowling fucking the house elves.
They're Dobby is free. No,
yeah,
that was Creature. That was Creature.
Yeah. Creature. It's just like, ooh,
yeah.
Cringe.
It was weird. It was. I feel like she couldn't. She probably wanted elves.
Yeah.
But it would have really thrown off her whole world.
Yeah, you can't have. Yeah.
Wizards were basically elves. Like there were Muggles were humans.
That's true.
Excuse the slur. And then wizards were like the more elven type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it felt like the more wizardly you got, the more close you got to like that classic trope of an all-knowing elf boy.
It's true because Gandalf would like hang out with the elves. Have you ever read the Silmarillion?
No.
It's
I've
brutal.
tried.
Yeah,
I've really tried. I've told people I have.
You lied about it.
Yeah, because
so
I
now
picked it up.
Gatekeeper.
I picked it up.
I can't skip it. The gatekeeper becomes a false idol.
The liar.
Yes.
No, I have tried. So I've read probably a chapter or two here and there, but it's a thick boy.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I've read Wikipedia summaries of every chunk, and that's I think as far as you need to go.
You get in all the like Morgoth and all the I've done the same. I've like on the wiki fandoms or whatever of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't have the time. I'd rather. It's like feels like a bite. It feels like reading the. I should just read the the Quran or something instead. I feel like I should understand people that are alive.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know,
there's like Tor.com had a series where they did a column on a character from the Silmarillion. Every week or something, and I got really into reading that for a while, but then I just got kind of bored because I was like, this is just, it's like his own myths sort of, and they kind of gets blurry between like, well, elves are cool because they're out doing stuff, and then this person's just sitting in the Hall of Death like playing a harp. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, God, do you think what do you think he was like to hang out with?
Tolkien. Scholarly,
probably just not even there.
Well, you know what? Also, I read on the internet is that he gave a talk about like the difference between fairies and elves in mythology, and he like described like an author writing fantasy and fantasy being like the most pure form of like expression if done right or something. I'm probably, if you're in the comments and you're about to butcher what I just said, it's okay. I want to be educated.
Yeah, please let us know. But he's right.
yeah. And I agree. But also he made the best art.
We might be misquoting him, but I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not trying to argue here.
We're on track.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I read it. I feel like when fantasy's written well, it's like it's huge analogies and like it's about our world, but you get to go somewhere else, and it's like you get to escape. I feel true. What do you think elves are based on? Like if there was someone you would like Nordic, I've read somewhere that they were like based on like Vikings and like Nordic.
Yeah, Nordic mythology. They're called like Alfa or something, and they were associated with
in Nordic mythology.
Yeah, right. And so that's where he came from. Well, so basically, I think it's worth it to say that Lord of the Rings, and why we're talking about Tolkien so much, if you're unfamiliar, is that his descriptions of elves basically created the trope and essentially like archetypes for elven characters pretty much from fantasy onward. It was just such a smash hit. Everyone became with elves that way, and like so pretty much any fantasy book you read owes like that shit to,
or porn you watch.
Yeah. To Tolkien.
It's Tolkien's dream.
Yeah, he'd be so proud to know his impact.
He'd be like, they're jerking off to it, are they? Wonderful news.
Oh, he'd be like, I love my wife.
God, I love my wife.
He did love his wife so much.
He was a good guy. He played rugby.
Also, did you know like a bunch of his friends died in World War I? So sad.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the book's basically about?
No, he would get so mad if you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people would ask that, and then he'd be like, "Yeah,
wrong,
you're gonna get
misogynist, gatekeeper, homophobe,
God, okay,
uneducated."
Chris, are you like going through? You're like,
maybe
just
I've
lay
never
it on
even read
me.
these books.
Oh my God, I would actually be really surprised if you had it.
Hey, I've got something to admit. No,
you're like, who's this guy, Gornagon?
Gorna who? What's this dude? Bomba who? Bomba Doo?
Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil.
Okay, that was a test for me. Yeah, I see. Yeah. I think also elves, the thing that is cool about elves is that they wear velvet cloaks everywhere.
Oh yeah. And they dress pretty cool.
Yeah. They
wear like sweet leaf lit vests and stuff like that. And they dress very like in tune with with nature, I feel.
Yeah. I really, once I bought a bunch of velvet, and I was like, because my mom is a quilter, and I was like, I'm going to make myself like a really cool cloak. But it ended up being really hard, and I never made it.
Yeah,
and now that's
those
a really
words
cool story.
Aren't really combined very often these days. Cool and cloak.
I know. And that's the thing. It's like, actually, it's... Excuse me. That was disgusting. I coughed towards the microphone.
She tried to say clickbait again.
I know. Yeah, fucking Huffington Post has a shot collar on me, and every time I try and say clickbait... This is a sidebar, but my mom sent me an email the other day that said important but sad topic, and it was 3 articles from the Washington Post about death and dying, and she's like, we need to talk about this as a family as me and your father get older, and one of them was just like, woman decides to end terminal illness by starving herself to death, and daughter films it all.
Oh my God.
I was like, you're gonna make me work,
yeah. You're gonna make me do a documentary about you?
Everyone else will be grieving. I'm like in fucking Adobe Photo, like every Adobe Premiere, like editing
Sorry,
your
my
last
mom's
moments.
dying. I'm really busy right now.
God. Anyway, but they're making clickbait for boomers.
Yeah. Oh,
on
yeah.
the news sites.
I mean, that's what QAnon is.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
It's been all clickbait. We're like, watch out, people are trying to, and then people are like, okay. Yeah,
That's true. Okay, that was just an aside.
No, yeah.
I had to.
Well, if your parents were elves, they would never have to worry about that.
I know.
For sure.
That was her first line in the email.
Mm-hmm.
We're not elves.
We're not
We've
elves,
told
Claire.
you that we're elves.
Stop. Please, we're not elves. Like,
I want to get prosthetic ears and like go hardcore for Halloween one year.
yeah, why
Like,
not?
Full velvet cape mode.
That you make. That you make yourself.
I better start now.
And then maybe some, like, I feel like elves wear like sweet, like moccasin type boots. They're very.
When you break down an elf's outfit, it is really just kind of tights.
Mm-hmm. Tights, cape, moccasins, half.
Little shirt with a cheeky lace up front.
And then like a half up, half down hairdo.
Yeah.
Regardless of gender, always half up, half down.
Gorgeous hair. You never see an elf with short hair.
Yeah, I've never seen a balding elf.
And I'm really imagining Legolas bald right now and feeling haunted.
A red sun rises.
And it glints off my forehead.
Yeah, that's why he's so good at killing people. He's just like, well, I got to be good at something.
Yeah.
I got no hair. No one likes me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if any of them were ugly? An ugly elf.
I feel like some of the extras that played the elves in the Council of Elrond are kind of busted.
Oh, fun fact. You know who's an extra who played...
I know what you're going to say.
Brett from Fly the Conchords. Yeah.
And
Lady Arwen, we must not delay. That's Brit.
It's Brett. I'm clapping.
Brit from Fly the Conchords.
Did you know there's an acronym specifically to refer to that?
No.
It's called like FigWidBit. I'm gonna have to look it up. But it's
like
forget about that. It's like forget about blah blah blah. Who's that guy? It became like this internet sensation.
Like fig blah blah blah.
It's like FigWit. Forget
about that guy who's this child with Aragorn.
Is it FigBit?
Man, if it comes up first search, this
what
is
if
going to be
porn comes up?
FigBit porn.
Shut up.
It's Rule 42, Rule 43. What is it?
FigWit is a fan-created name for the then unnamed elf in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings films, played by Brett McKenzie of the musical duo Flight of the Conchords. And it says, Frodo is great. Who is that? That's what it is.
Frodo
I guess I was like kind of close.
Who is that?
Yeah, forget about that guy. It's kind of the same ethos.
Hey, man, they made him shave his beard.
He looks like beautiful.
He does.
He looks like he has a beauty filter on.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, that lighting.
Yeah.
The lighting and
elf lighting.
The lighting. They've got ring lights following them around everywhere.
Yeah, it's so true. They're the influencers of Middle Earth.
Truly, yeah.
Everyone wants to be them.
Poor dwarves. I feel like they just got the opposite.
I know.
End of the deal.
They're like they're busted and they're no girls because they're ugly. LOL.
And if they are, they have beards.
Yeah, that's like every elf is like, you fuck your brother.
Little hairy dwarven women.
Wait, I have to cough.
Bless you, child.
Oh God, I've done 2 neti pots today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, what's happening?
I just have bad allergies. I got a COVID test. It was negative.
Hell yeah. That's really hard to do these days, it turns out.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I was like, what the hell? It took me 10 minutes at Walgreens.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Was it
was free.
Free?
Yeah.
Whoa, I love Walgreens. What a company.
The green of Wall.
What a great company Walgreens has always been.
This episode is absolutely off the fucking rails.
This episode was brought to you by Walgreens.
I'm disgusting.
Claire is negative and can't say clickbait. No, this episode was supposed to be off the walls. So
yeah, we're going freeform. Chris and Claire freeform on elves.
On elves, and they really don't stay on track.
And they don't. No, but elves are like. I mean, I think the other thing is that they're really hot.
Mm-hmm. They're also really Aryan.
Yes.
I feel like Hitler would have loved elves.
Well, there's a lot of in fantasy too. You know, with like light elves versus dark elves.
Yeah.
And I think that also comes from Tolkien because it was like the Sylvan elves that were already on Middle Earth before the Valar got there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where like Legolas is from, and that's kind of why Elrond and all his people are like nasty little forest rats or whatever. Not really, but And then I think you see the word like Sindar or Sindarin or Sylvan, like that. I think also travels through lots of fantasy, and also in like World of Warcraft and stuff, it's like
the
dark elves are big.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In like Total War, all that stuff. Those are different. Yeah. World of Warcraft, Total War.
Have you ever read the Witcher books?
No. Need to.
Have you watched it?
I have watched it. Yeah.
Okay, so you know how the elves and stuff in there?
No, I don't remember it at all.
So the way he writes about the elves essentially is like they're being killed off slowly. It's like I would say reading it and watching the books or
oh yeah, they're like a plague or whatever or something.
Well, plague took a lot of them out, but it's parallels to how like colonization works.
Yeah.
It's like the humans showed up, elves showed them how to use magic, and then humans just started destroying elves. And so they're much more prevalent in the book than books that he wrote in the short stories, and you get a lot more background about them than you do in the TV episodes. I love both of them, honestly, but they're kind of treated as like remnants of a dying kingdom, essentially. Okay. So like I haven't finished all of the books, but you kind of meet them, they're like living in the forests, or they're like, trying to have their last remaining territory, and like whoever is the king, in whatever country is like, depends on how they got treated. And there's this big storyline with Ciri, her mom, the Lioness of Sintra, just absolutely slaughtered elves. Just like a genocidal, massacre of a population type thing. And so he kind of uses them in the book as like, I mean, I don't know if he has an intentional metaphor, but I mean, you could compare it to like any like Native Americans in the United States. Like it's kind of similar parallels in the way he's writing about the loss of their civilization.
Yeah, anybody who's been genocided.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So I think that's interesting too, because he's like, oh, here are all these mystical powers elves have, but like, damn, don't things change?
Yeah, he flipped it, because normally they're the dominant, they're the best, they're kind of flawless.
We want their help, blah blah blah, and in his world, it's like, ew.
Yeah.
We don't care.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think we both agree we like hot elves and not little elves.
Yeah, little elves are nasty.
And
Christmas elves?
Oh shit. That's a whole new brand. That's a whole new brand of elves.
Well, Christmas elves remind me of like Keebler elves.
Yeah, that's definitely. I feel like those. We gotta get a different name for that. We can't be calling the same people who are riding shields downstairs and killing orcs after the people who are making Etch-a-Sketches.
It's kind of like, I think elves with a V is like Legolas, and then elf.
Yeah.
Elves.
Elves. Yeah.
I like the little guys.
There's elves and there's elves.
And also, fun fact that I also learned is that Tolkien is the one who started calling it elf, or elves with a V. And then it was an elf with an F was like the popular way, and they tried to change it. And he wrote a correction and said, no, you give me my elves.
Oh, cool. So he was like, no.
Yeah.
Different than your little shitty Christmas elves.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Would you say we covered elves in a way that you are proud of?
I have to say, my vision for this episode was like both of us like with stacks of like notes on like elves, and then I kind of started and I was like, there's just too much.
Yeah, I came in here and I was like, we're just gonna freestyle.
Yeah.
And talk about elves.
I thought you would.
Yeah. That's my bad.
It's funny because even when I was like skimming Wikipedia, they're like elves and fantasy is like an article, and it's like they just randomly pull like 7 authors. It's like the only consistency is Tolkien, and then people talking about like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But it's just like, whoever's editing this article had these 5 favorite books about elves. Yeah. Who's gonna pop them in there? Like there's just too many.
Well, you can edit the article. You can add to it.
I know, but what am I gonna say?
Well, all the things you know. Did you know that Figwit stands?
Yeah, the elves in my elves that Claire thinks are hot list.
Yeah, that'd be such a funny section.
But like, actually,
in history, in popular culture, ones that Claire thinks are hot.
Yeah, everyone's
like, who's Claire?
Well, okay. Well, I have to say, I mean, we should. I was thinking we could do Kill, Fuck, Marry, but pick 3 elves from one another.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta like do a name all right. Well,
or we could just do the same ones. We can come up with 3 together.
Elrond.
Oh, okay. Come on. He's got to be hot.
Okay. Legolas.
Yeah.
Galadriel.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of someone that's not from the Lord of the Rings.
I mean, let's just start with Lord of the Rings, and we can kind of do like a different one.
Arwen?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's you got to do it.
Yeah, those are the ones. Those are the 3 big, the 3 big hotties.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Fuck Arwen, marry Legolas, kill Galadriel.
Whoa, that was quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
baby. Mind like a fucking trap.
Wait, so you... All right, I would marry Arwen. She... I don't know why I was almost like, that hoe's loyal.
That hoe.
It felt very disrespectful.
Elves? I don't think elves cheat.
No.
And you can't call her a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
Elrond will slice off your balls.
I would kill Galadriel because she's scary. Yeah. She would do that one thing where she speaks in 9 octaves at once, and I'd be like, oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to kill you now.
Yeah. Me scared.
And I'd fuck Legolas.
Yeah.
Just to rub it in all the girls' faces that I went to middle school with.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah? Well,
And
I
it all
ended up
comes-
fucking him.
It all comes back to this. One time I had a dream that I was supposed to meet Legolas for a date at the movie theater, but my mom kept asking me to do chores, and I like couldn't meet up with him. And
Mom, I've got to go.
I remember this dream like decades later. I was so mad.
You woke
God,
up
I'm
like
a freak.
You woke up so sad. You're just like,
I was just like, we really could have had something. Like,
fuck you, Mom.
if only I could have not had to wash the dishes. I could have kissed Legolas in my head.
And then your lesson was like, I always got to clean the dishes right after dinner.
I know.
Because who knows when Legolas want to go see a quick matinee.
Yeah, right? 3
Yeah.
p.m. I'll see any movie. I'll see We Bought a Zoo.
I'll see the new Space Jam.
I heard it's really bad.
I really am glad to hear that. I was
heard it's
hoping it was
terrible.
bad. Yeah.
You know why it was going to be bad? I mean, we need big titty Lola Bunny.
Big titty Lola Bunny and not the Nestle Corporation as a person as the star.
That's what it is?
No, just LeBron James and the Nestle Corporation. They have a lot in common.
I was listening to our other podcast and I realized I go, a lot. And I really need to stop doing that.
That doesn't bother anybody but you.
Yeah, I sound insane.
Yeah.
And then, we don't really have anyone to do a celebrity casting with.
Yeah.
But like,
If you were to recast,
oh my God, that's a
recast?
savage proposal.
a recast of the big 3.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, what are celebrities that could be elves?
Oh, that's a good one too.
But I like yours.
Okay, recast. I'm putting. What if I just change it around?
Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage.
Liv Tyler is now Legolas. Legolas is Galadriel.
Gender bending.
And Kate Blanchett is Arwen.
Okay, but I could say Nicolas Cage is Elrond for real.
Yeah.
I feel like I just want to see Nicolas Cage.
Do you know
as
he
an
was
elf.
offered the role of Aragorn?
He turned it down.
And he turned it down.
And they cast oh my God, Stuart Townsend, who plays the main male character in like Akasha, Queen of Vampires or whatever.
He was supposed to be Gandalf.
No, he was supposed to be Aragorn.
Oh yeah, Aragorn.
And he got replaced like 2 days by Viggo Mortensen right before shooting started.
And who almost got Gandalf? Was it Patrick Stewart?
Probably.
I think it was.
That sounds right.
Okay, so I would recast. I would put. I think Emma Watson.
Oh my God.
She could a little crossover, bring her from the Harry Potter world.
She's like not tall enough in my head.
Yeah, but she's got those elven features.
Yeah, I could see her
Zoe
being
Saldana.
Zoe Saldana would be a great Legolas.
Female Legolas vibes there for sure.
I think Hermione would be. I mean, Emma Watson could be Toriel in The Hobbit.
Yeah. Oh,
those are really bad movies, though.
Yeah, those movies are fucking so.
They're so bad.
Stupid love.
And the door was closing on those movies.
Yeah.
You shouldn't watch them.
And then I think I would cast. Oh, I mean, Patrick Stewart would be a really good elf.
Oh yeah, he could be a good Elrond too.
Yeah, put a full. Could you imagine him with like a full head of Elrond hair?
Yeah, it would be insane.
Hello, Ian McClellan,
It'd be like,
my
okay.
old friend. They would just be talking the exact same.
One of the DVD featurettes would be like doing Patrick Stewart's wigs. And
Yeah.
it would be the longest one. I could see. Oh God, like I keep thinking of Nathan Fillion maybe as Aragorn.
Oh,
maybe.
but Aragorn's not an elf.
Oh yeah, we're talking. Oh yeah. I'm fully in Lord of the Rings.
I could see
mode.
Cian Healy.
I don't know who that is.
Or what's his name? Is it Cian Healy? Or Cian? No, Cian Healy's a rugby player. Who's the guy from the Peaky Blinders?
Oh my God,
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God, he'd be great.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He'd be a good
He's got
Legolas.
those big watery eyes.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
I read his Wikipedia the other day because he was so hot, and I was like, I just want to know more about him.
please
He's like
have a
married
good-
to his sweetheart.
I know.
So cute.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a good guy.
We love you, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, sorry, I called you Cian Healy.
Cian Healy's. I mean, I know that now that I know it's a rugby player, it's not as funny, but like, it's just thinking that's his name and it's like essentially gibberish.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Cian Healy.
Yeah.
I got to show you a picture of Cian Healy, I feel like now.
I'm trying to think of like, Liv Tyler was so good as Arwen. It's really hard for me to think of like someone else. Kate Winslet could have been Galadriel.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah, Steven.
Not at all the same.
He looks like Russell Crowe. No, he would be an insane Legolas.
Yeah,
beefy,
too big.
He'd be like, "Oh, I watched this then."
Hey, there I'm playing with a broken arm. No matter.
You know, what'd be really funny is Posh Spice Victoria Beckham as Galadriel.
David Beckham is like, I'm also David Beckham.
Yeah, as his, playing the husband as himself,
and David Beckham as himself.
Why can't I think of any female celebrity? All I can think of is Olivia Rodriguez
with Bobby Moynihan.
Yeah, Bobby Moynihan is Samwise Gamgee, or no, he plays
Gimli.
Or I was thinking of the elf who shows up, who's like really mean to Legolas, and then shows up at the end or mean to Aragorn, and then he shows up anyway.
What's his name again?
He
dies.
Yeah,
it's very
Thranduil?
sad. Yeah.
Or no, that's the king in the sequels.
Don't know.
Okay, well,
that's been elves.
We've exhausted all of our knowledge of celebrities and elves.
And it was pretty clear that Claire's knowledge is vaster than mine when it comes to the elven world. Yeah,
and that's kind of karma showing you that your actions as a child were actually harmful, and you need to do some self-reflection to fix that.
On my youth misogyny.
Yeah, we need to get a big email group going and say, hey, email all the girls.
So sorry about Chris Higgins.
I know that you just wanted to fuck Legolas, but actually I'm understanding that really like broaden the appeal of the series to people, and ultimately I should be happy if other people are enjoying the media that I'm enjoying. That should be your email.
The end.
I went to somewhere else in my head when I was doing that.
From Chris. Will you write it for me?
No, yeah.
So you can tell I mean it.
Yeah, exactly.
My friend Claire wrote this.
I'm an ally to men. I write all their apologies.
Oh my God. We don't need one.
Yeah. Okay, that was our episode. We have other topics coming up.
Yep. The next one, where do they get the milk in Redwall?
Where that milk come from?
Where does it come from?
Milk, but how?
But how?
All right.
We've been recording live from the Lincoln Lodge. Tune in every week. We'll see you soon.
Bye.